Ayo, what is up my people? So I like to start off, if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. So to everybody, I wish you a very happy new year, peace and prosperity. Frohes neues Jahr. And yeah, so this is my channel, The Brink Stop, where the money drops off. I'm your host, the friendliest face in the game, the man of the hour, the boy wonder himself, Kick-a-ching. And today, guys, I'm just gonna do what I expect to happen in 2019, or just what I feel is gonna happen, and I'm gonna go over really briefly 3 coins that I really feel like are going to do really well. So if you were following me on my channel, I have been putting up videos for a couple months or so, and I stopped. I didn't stop because the bear market got to me, and I just stopped putting out videos because I got depressed, whatever. I just had to go to school, got so busy with that. But it's a new year, I'm back. One of my things that I plan on doing for the new year is just making sure I'm consistently putting out videos for you guys. And yeah, I feel like when you guys have a consistent person here with you along the way, making everything nice and easy for you, the whole time that you're investing or the whole time that you're into cryptocurrency, it just feels a lot better than when you have to do it alone. So getting down to it, guys, if you look at the coin market cap, now if you guys have been paying attention every day, every week, every month, you pretty much know that we are currently still in a bear market from this past year. Now, as you see, prices are up somewhat, not really substantially, but somewhat. If you go to my past videos, the market cap is way down. As you see, Bitcoin is at 3,881. Ethereum is less than 200. XRP is less than its 50-60 cent value at 36 cents. All these different coins, tokens, whatever you might have. Yeah, pretty much everything's down now. Today, everything's in the green. Of course, everything, you see it green up 5%, 11%, so on and so forth. But yeah, so 2019, I know 2018 was a very rough year, and it was it was definitely a grind to get through it. But I must say, if you guys stuck through it and you grinded it out, you will be rewarded soon enough. And one of the things that I definitely learned from 2018, one of the things that I learned was that when you're wanting to make a lot of money, because there's so much money to be made in cryptocurrency, when you're wanting to make a lot of money, and when you just know that you've been investing in the right projects, you've been doing your research, you've been doing everything that you can, and it just doesn't happen. And it happened to me because I thought I was going to make so much by the end of the year, and it didn't happen that way because the prices kept going down. I realized that this construct that we view as or the timetable, I should say, that we view as when money should be made or how fast it should be made, that is dependent on the project, that is dependent on everybody within the space, and that is dependent on the companies, the corporations backing it, everybody. It's not just oh, we put our money in and everything's looking good so it should go up. No, that's not how it works. And one of the things I really had to do over this last year was reevaluate how soon I expect to make money, if I'm really here in it for the long run as I say I am, and also if I am doing the correct research. Because if you're not and you're just putting your money into any type of project, then you'll find out that you're just going to lose money, and eventually we're not going to have this 2,776 cryptocurrencies forever. Like, this is going to go way down, and a lot of these projects are going to go away, disappear completely. And that's also what happened this last year. So I felt like this last year, it was a lot of price manipulation, price suppression, and a lot of the over-the-counter companies and corporations and just heavy financiers, they were really trying to get Bitcoin for as cheap as they could. And I would say that they pretty much accumulated what they wanted to. Now, I'm not going to say that the prices couldn't go down anymore, because they could, but I would say this 3,000 price level is pretty much where they wanted Bitcoin to be, so that they can accumulate as much as possible, put their money away for 5-10 years down the line, and then make massive returns off of that. So for us, unfortunately, since we're not, institutional investors, or we don't have billions of dollars to throw around in the cryptocurrency markets, when we invest, we're really getting hit with, the price drops. We're really getting hit with prices dropping 80-90%. And the bad thing about it is you could be in the best project ever, but at the end of the day, those projects are still going to go down. You're still going to lose money. Now, of course, if you really believe in the project, you're not going to sell. And personally, I did not sell. The only projects I sold were the ones that I realized, like, why did I even invest? Oh, because, know, I was inexperienced. I listened to the wrong person about investing in this. Should have done my own research, cut my losses, and I just took what money I had left and put it back into the projects I really believe in. So yeah. Coming into 2019, like I said, guys, not really a prediction, but what I really, and I'm not going to give a price prediction for Bitcoin or anything like that, but what I do expect is I feel like Bitcoin and everything is going to really just I don't want to say explode, but it's really just going to exponentially grow this year, because if you look at all the news, if you look at all the media and everything about the space, we've been having so much good news, having so many venture capitalists invest millions, hundreds of $1 millions in various projects. We've been having the likes of the CVOE, we've been having the likes of the New York Stock Exchange and the ICE, them opening up their crypto trading platform, national banks going to XRP and Ripple, doing trading with that. So all this basically is to say that all these people who have millions of dollars, all these elite people, all these people who basically run the world, because they are the wealthy elite that run the world, they personally know more about what's going to happen in a space, and they see more potential in the space, and they wouldn't put so much money in a space if it did not have the potential. So with that said, a lot of these people expect massive gains off their money, and I'm not saying that a lot of these projects still won't make a lot of money, but I'm saying that they're backing it because of what they see as the future potential for these. And I feel like cryptocurrency is not the internet, but in the sense of how fast it can grow and what it will do is like the internet 2.0 from that standpoint, because it's really going to revolutionize the way we do things in terms of payment processing, in terms of payment transference, in terms of just all types of blockchain technology, the digital immutable ledger that we use for keeping track of all records, all digital payments, just whatever it might be. I know cryptocurrency will change that. And coming into 2019, I feel like they will not be able to keep the prices for cryptocurrency suppressed for that much longer. And I know I said I wasn't going to do a price prediction actually, but Bitcoin's at 3,000. I would say at the least, at the very, very least. I can't give a timetable, but at the very least, I know that we will be over $10,000 per Bitcoin. Ethereum, we might see an over $300 Ethereum over the course of the year. That's pretty much it. I'm not going to keep going through all of them, but I just feel like a lot of these projects, especially the ones that I've kept track with, they've really been buckling down. They've been making sure that they've done their research. They've been making sure they've been doing their peer review processes. They've been making sure that they've done everything so that the technology that they're using and implementing will not be able to falter when there are a massive amount of users on their networks. Or they'll make sure that when, the stakes are high and everything's, going great, that if the markets were to go down, that their project is still pushing on and still doing what it needs to do in terms of operation, in terms of making sure the users are secure, and making sure that whatever their use case is, that it's happening, to the extent that they want it to. So that's how I feel. For now, I'll probably go do a more in-depth video later on, but I really feel like 2018 was the year for, just suppression, manipulation, but it was really a chance to learn about the space. It was a chance to really reevaluate why you're in the space, and really see what projects are good, and just try and experience what it's like to be in a bear market, because when you're in a bull market, you'll really appreciate the fact that you were in a bear market, that you were just, oh man, this is so bad, this is so terrible, when the price is going to go up. Like, you'll really appreciate it, and you won't get too greedy and just like, oh yeah, it's going to go forever, because in the back of your mind, oh, I went through 2018 was an entire year bear market. Prices were just decreasing every day, and I wish I took profits in January, February. So when the prices go back up to all-time highs, you'll be remembering, okay, yeah, so this happened, so I'm gonna take profit here, I'm gonna take profit here, I might put it into a stable token here, or you might put it into Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's going to stay as a store of value for however, like, to the foreseeable future. Like, it's always going to be, in my opinion, the number one, but that is what it is. So yeah, on to the next little tidbit. So I said there are about 3 coins that I really wanted to talk about, like, briefly, and I'll go more in depth in later videos. But the first one I definitely had to reevaluate over this last course of the year. I understand that for cryptocurrency, a lot of people are in it because of the decentralization aspect. They feel like it's like power to the people, because they're able to handle their own finances. They don't have to worry about the banks, which of course the banks are starting to go under. They're in massive debts. Look at Deutsche Bank. But I'm just saying, there's so many banks out there that are doing wrong by their customers, and people feel like they aren't in control of their money. And especially when we have like the US dollar, which is currently inflating, or you have other currencies across the world like the Iraqi dinar, or I don't know what it is in Venezuela. Whatever the currency is just hyperinflating. And at the end of the day, as the years go on, these currencies, even though more and more is being printed, they say, oh yeah, it's backed by, you know, gold, it's backed by whatever it might be. The truth to the matter is its strength is not holding like cryptocurrencies. Like Bitcoin, even though it is down from the 20,000 all-time high, it's still 3,881 per Bitcoin. And $1 today, and January 2nd, 2019, $1 today, maybe 2-3 years from now, probably will not be able to buy the same amount when we get to that later date. So that is to say, I do feel like cryptocurrencies really, you know, they change everything, and that's why a lot of people are in it, because they feel like not only can they put their money in it and it's safe and it won't inflate, but at the same time, you know, they can control everything. They don't have to worry, like, you know, they don't have to worry, oh, okay, so I have to go through this bank and I have to send it here, and I have to wait an hour, I have to wait a couple days, and then I have to pay a fee to this bank, I have to pay a fee to this middle processing transactor, whatever it might be. Cryptocurrency deletes all that. But at the same time, and why we're coming back to XRP, is because XRP is somewhat of a payment solution. That's not their only thing that they're doing, but that's their main thing. So they want to be a cross-border international payment solution, not just for, you know, major institutions, but for banks. And if you've been looking at the news, we've had people been able to transfer, not people, but institutions, banks, they've been able to transfer 300 million, 700 million plus for less than like a minute, I believe, in less than a minute, and all for less than the price of a penny. So the fact that they're able to do all this for less than a penny, it really revolutionizes it. Because imagine if, you know, say for instance, if you personally, like me as a retail investor, you personally, you wanted to send $1,000 USD to your cousin over in Germany, and Germany uses the euro like everybody in Europe, or most people I should say in Europe. So say you send 1,000 USD to Germany. Now I haven't checked the exchange rate recently, but last time I checked, it was like $1.16. It was equivalent to a euro. So not only are you having to pay that exchange rate, usually if you send it through PayPal, Western Union, whatever it might be, they're also going to take their fee out of it. So they're not even going to get the original 1,000 USD that you send. They're going to be getting maybe, I'd say 800, maybe 30 or maybe $850, depending on what service you use, what fees you have to take, all that stuff. So that is to say, nobody, you know, wants to deal with all those fees and stuff. And say for instance, if you're transferring Ripple XRP, when you transfer $1,000 in XRP, you can guarantee that you'll probably get 999.99 XRP, or $999.99 in XRP, and you won't have to worry about, you know, that massive fee, or it'll probably be even less, the lesser amount that you send. Keep in mind that 1 cent fee was for people sending hundreds of millions of dollars. So if you're sending $1,000, probably be close to nothing, that fee, and it also be practically like within minutes. So that's the other thing too. You don't have to wait for like a week. You don't have to wait 5 to 7 business days to get your money. It's literally there instantly. So yeah. And what I also would like to talk about XRP. So XRP is dealing with banks. The whole purpose with Ripple is so that they can bring banks on board and bring digital payment solutions and cryptocurrencies to basically the modern world. And the thing about this is, when your plan is when you align your plan in such a way, you have to be centralized. You cannot be a decentralized place, because banks are not going to, the way that banks are established, they're not going to go on board to a decentralized organization where they feel like there is no true centralized owner, where everybody's in control of their own finances, and where nothing can really be recorded unless each user says so. So banks, of course, are going to want one person or one company or one token, you know, cryptocurrency, XRP, Ripple, to do all that for them and be centralized, and that's what they do. The reason why I say this is so great is because, yeah, we might not agree with the centralization factor, because cryptocurrency is supposed to be decentralized and powered to the people at the end of the day. And what I really had to stop listening to a lot of people was, I'm not a millionaire. If you are not a rich person, or not even a million, if you don't have at least $100,000 in the bank, if you are not a millionaire, whatever it might be, if you're not making a certain amount of money per month, why are you concerned about the centralization factor of XRP? Because at the end of the day, $1,000 invested today, 2-3 years down the line, that could be $10,000 later, or etc., etc. And I'm not saying that's the, you know, as much as you'll have, but I'm just saying there's a lot of money to be made with XRP, especially when it's 36 cents right now, and I think the all-time high was over $3. So when you're thinking about that, and that's just that's before they had any partnerships, that's before they had any groundwork laid, that's before they had anything in the space. That was necessary for the XRP platform. That was before they were doing these transfers internationally and showing that their network could well withstand the use and everything. So if it could get to $3.50 before then, what do you think would happen when all these people in banks start coming out saying, oh, we're using Ripple as our payment solution. We're going to start using XRP token to transfer back and forth for our money. And then on top of that, that's not even the best part. XRP is starting to be listed on exchanges as a base pair, meaning that you could take your fiat currency, buy XRP, and then use XRP to go get Bitcoin, to go get Cardano, to go get Ontology, to go get Neo, to go get basic attention token, to go get Nano, whatever you might want. XRP is starting to be the base pair. So not only do you have the XRP as a base pair, which means that now the volume will be exponential when the next bull run comes. So many people will be using XRP because not everybody's going to want to use the Bitcoin or Ethereum because the network might be slow. They might feel like, oh, well, I could just buy up XRP and use that to buy other altcoins, or I could just buy XRP. So keep in mind, now that it's being listed on exchanges, specifically it's been listed on Binance, the biggest exchange in the world, as a base pair, but because it's starting to get listed on more and more exchanges, that means that more and more people are, prone to notice that XRP can be used, that they will be able to use it, and boom. So that said, a lot of people, when I was first getting into the space and over the course of the last year, they're like, oh, I'm staying away from XRP and Ripple because it's too centralized. I don't agree with the, centralized aspect. And, yeah, that's great and all. I really understand like your sentiment, but at the end of the day, you're not rich. I'm not rich. And if that's the case, then I'm not going to pass up a great opportunity to make money, because that's really what it is at the end of the day. Yes, we do believe in some of the projects, but a lot of the people in it, they're not just in it to, oh, okay, well, we're going to wait for society to only use cryptocurrency and then, yeah, I'll be using cryptocurrency. No, you want to make your money off of it so you can go invest it in something else. And yeah, so if you're just going to pass up a great opportunity like XRP, I feel like that's really stupid. If you're really just trying to be, set it off certain morals, like, I'm only going to buy decentralized currency. Yeah, it is what it is, but that's just my feelings on the matter. And if we look at Ripple, which I have pulled up, these are just some of their partners. So if we go down, the checks are like their official partners. So the Santander Bank, they've been partnered with American Express. Did not mean to go that far. So we see they're partnered with Western Union. We see they're partnered with BBVA. Is that MoneyGram? Yep, they are partnered with MoneyGram officially. Oh, here we go. So we have Kuwait, the Kuwait Finance House. We keep going down. Let's see. There's definitely way more. We're going to get to the official ones. All these are some of the. So Bank of Yokohama, not JP Morgan Chase. No, here we go. The Royal Bank of Canada, Deloitte. CBW Bank. I know they're also partnered with the official bank of Saudi Arabia or Abu Dhabi, one of the two. So I don't know why my computer's doing this right now. It's kind of being weird, but at the end of the day, Ripple is actually making a lot of partnerships, and they're having a lot of money to go into their system. And of course, a lot of money going into their system means that XRP is going to be used more and more frequently. And also, when all these people are using it, that means that when the bull market does return, the prices will truly reflect how much it is being used, how much partnerships are, or how many people, companies, corporations, venture capitalists are using the platform. So that is to say, I really think XRP will do well over this next year. Just keep looking out for great news for them. I really expect big things from XRP and Ripple this year. And yeah, so the next cryptocurrency I want to touch on briefly. Yeah, I know I went off on a tangent for Ripple, but to go again briefly, Cardano. I really feel like Cardano is going to do extremely well over this next year. This was supposed to be the roadmap, so I have no clue why the roadmap is not pulled up. Yeah, I don't know why the roadmap is not pulled up. This here it is. No, this isn't it. Yeah, that's not what I wanted. So anyway, it doesn't matter. I can just go over in my head. So for Cardano, what they have for their roadmap coming up. So first off, Cardano is going to be a superior blockchain to many other blockchains because of their peer review factor. And I know a lot of people are bashing Charles Hoskinson, like, oh, who do you think you are for doing peer review? Oh, you think you're better than everybody. I feel like at the end of the day, when you have other sets of eyes viewing your work and viewing your blockchain and viewing everything else, then that'll be much better for your cryptocurrency project than, say, for instance, if you just have one person, you publish it and it's like, oh, okay, well, here's a flaw in your blockchain. We could fork it here. We could do a 51% attack. When you're having so many people peer review your blockchain, that's not going to happen. So with Cardano, That's definitely not going to happen. And not only that, Cardano, they're going to be moving to proof of stake. They have Shelly coming out in the I think March of this year. They said Q1, but I believe it'll be toward the end of March. I don't think it'll be in January, February. It'll probably be toward of March. And yeah, on top of that, they're just developing so much stuff on Cardano. Now they've integrated Cardano, or they're going to integrate it with the Ledger Nano S. They've already integrated it with the Trezor wallet. And on top of all of that, they've already had the Ouroboros payment solution come out for them. And yeah, that's really what I like to say about Cardano for now. That's just a brief, overview of what they have planned for this next year. But keep in mind, Cardano, Charles Hoskinson, Cardano, however you want to say it, he worked with Ethereum. He was one of the main people that developed Ethereum. He left Ethereum to create Cardano. He thinks he could create something better than Cardano. He's either second to or even smarter than Vitalik. And however you want to take that, Charles Hoskinson will be leading Cardano to the future. And you might see a lot of projects and they might have good, they might have a good technology, or they might have a good white paper or whatever, but that doesn't necessarily mean that their leadership is there. And without good leadership, a lot of these projects have sunk over the bear market. Cardano's price is really taking a hit. Cardano, I think they're at what, 4 cents right now? They are at 4 cents, and their all-time high was at $1.21. $1.21 to 4 cents. That's over 90%. Not only that, a lot of projects a lot of people within the projects, the leaders, whatever, they would have sold their holdings, they would have bailed, jump ship. Charles Hoskinson is still here. He's still working. He's still grinding every day. He's literally doing speeches. He's going out. He's on Twitter. He's on social media, always talking about Cardano and what they plan on doing in the IOHK Foundation. He's always doing something with Cardano. And with a leader like that and such a strong mind, you should really expect that they might do something really great over the course of this next year. And honestly, 2019 is going to be the make or break year for a lot of these cryptocurrencies. Now, people have said that it will be a multi-year bear market, and if that is true, then all they can do is develop their technology, which Cardano has been developing their technology. But if it starts turning into a bull run, and it will turn into a bull run eventually, you'll really see, based on a lot of these projects, which projects were really, doing what they needed to do with the technology, with the partnerships, and implementing their blockchain. You'll see which companies were really on their stuff, and you'll see it like their prices will go up exponentially. And the other ones, they might go up a little, but they're not going to go up, to where they once were. And Cardano, $1.21, that's going to be laughable by the next bull run. So Cardano, that's another coin I really like, what I really expect a lot of things from. And the last coin and or token, EOS. Now again, EOS, people have said a lot of stuff about EOS. They don't like EOS, yada yada. They think it's too centralized. They think it's a scam. I've done my research on EOS, but not only that, what I really like about EOS is the fact that they have so much money behind them. Now, a lot of these projects in the cryptocurrency space, they might have had good leadership, good technology, whatever it might be, but they failed because they didn't have the money, and they can't keep paying people, especially in a bear market like this when prices drop 90%. You can't keep paying people, so obviously you have to stop the project. You see a lot of these people such as Bitmain, or you see a lot of other cryptocurrencies projects that were once, whether they were in the top 200, whatever, they might have dropped now. They might barely be in existence because they've stopped. They can't run off resources and funds anymore. EOS, they had the biggest ICO ever. Now, that's not to say there won't be another one, but they had the biggest ICO ever. Over the course of the year, they raised $4 billion, and you could do damn near anything you want to do with $4 billion. You really can do anything you want. And that's not to say that EOS is really just collecting the money and going, because they've really been developing their technology. But the reason why I say this is because the way that EOS has built themselves up, now that they've accumulated their money, and we've seen like over the course of the year, they had their chance. They could have done an exit scam if they want to. They haven't. EOS is really trying to build up their resources. They're really trying to build up their ecosystem so that EOS becomes the decentralized platform that everybody uses. So whether that be putting games on there, whether that be putting payment apps, or just apps in general on there, on their platform, whatever it might be, EOS has done that. And the fact that they have $4 billion, they could just do whatever they want. So for instance, if they want to fund, say for instance they want to do decentralized video games on their platform, they can allocate easily $100-200 million to that platform. And look at platforms such as Tron. Now, though everybody bashes Tron has a lot of money. They're still around, and because they have so much money, they can do whatever they want. Which we saw when Justin Sun Tron, whatever you want to say, when he I think he bought BitTorrent for $200 million or whatever. He bought BitTorrent for $200 million or whatever it might be. And now that he has BitTorrent, he's able to use that along with the Tron network. So he's just building up the ecosystem. Now, if you have 4 billion, imagine all the different projects or all the different cryptocurrency, whatever it might be, that you might be able to buy so it can supplement your ecosystem and build it to be stronger than Ethereum, because that's the ultimate goal. They want to be the #1 used platform. So imagine what they could do with that 4 billion. Imagine how many people that could be on the network, because they could pay, to have the best network. They could have they could pay to have the best system. They could pay to have the best infrastructure, so that everything, when it comes down to it, the network won't get congested. So that's why I say look forward to EOS. I will be doing a deep dive, or as I like to say, a crypto autopsy on EOS. I'll do the same thing for XRP, and I'll do the same thing for Cardano. But that's really what I like to say about EOS. And also another thing too with EOS, one last thing, is built into their structure. And I know I really am not trying to go too deep into it, but built into the EOS structure, no matter what you do on the EOS platform, if you do something on their platform, you have to give people a certain amount of tokens for using the EOS. So basically, in order for EOS to work, or in order for the platform to work, you have to buy a certain amount of EOS. Not only do you have to buy a certain amount of EOS, if you're a new project, you're a new company, whatever, using the EOS platform, you have to pay all your users, all the EOS users, or EOS holders, we should say, in the designated amount that they hold. So for instance, this is just an example. This is like, I'm not saying Fortnite is about to be partnered, but just an example. So say for instance, Fortnite partners with EOS, and they want to do a thing where they make sure that everything, whether it be like their skins, whether it be the gun wraps, whether it be the maps, or whether they implement new stuff. Imagine if they want to do that, but they said, okay, well, we'd like to use the EOS platform because it's blockchain technology. We can integrate that into our system. It'd be much better. It'd be decentralized. So in order for them to do that, they'd have to buy a certain amount of EOS. And in order for them to have a certain amount of EOS, that means that they'd be paying everybody who holds EOS a certain amount of money. So say for instance, you hold 1,000 EOS, okay? And of course, we all know that Fortnite uses V-Bucks, and if you don't know, they use V-Bucks. So for them to be able to use the EOS platform, like they said, they'd have to distribute an equal amount of EOS that each holder holds to everybody in order to use it, because that's just how the ecosystem is built. And it's not just for new companies. That even for Dan Larimer, even if Dan Larimer wanted to do that, he'd have to do the same thing. So that's why you see when all these companies or new projects come onto the EOS platform, you'll just be making money. So it's so much residual money to make, and that goes back to what I was trying to say. Say for instance, if you had 1,000 EOS, so if they had 1,000 EOS and Fortnite wanted to get onto the EOS platform, that means if I had 1,000, they'd have to give me 1,000 V-Bucks, or they'd have to give me 1,000's worth of whatever is equivalent to my holdings, to whatever their native currency, native holding token, whatever it might be. And that's just to say, if you're accumulating EOS now while it's cheap, when it gets really expensive again, EOS went up to $20. Right now it's at like what, $2-3? I think it was $2. It's at $2.72. So imagine accumulating 1,000, even 5,000, 10,000 EOS. You could literally just not do anything, and every time new projects come on, and that's not to say every project that comes on EOS will be great, but say for instance, if it is a great project or a great platform, whatever it might be, and they come to use EOS, that means that for that 10,000 EOS that you bought way back, you'll get 10,000 of the new token, or the new platform's native currency, or the new whatever that they're using when they come on and integrate the EOS system. So all that to say, EOS is looking great, is primed for the future. Their money stands behind them, and in this game, money does talk. So yeah, that's really it, guys. I did go a little long. I said it was going to be brief. Gotta work on that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, this new year, we're going to change things up. We're going to shake it up. We're going to become one of the top channels. And yeah, guys.